best regards greeting of the day for everybody who is joining today. Thanks again once again for joining. Today I'm going to share a lot of personal stories and what it gets to get into AIPM interviews. Today we will be using a lot of slide material and less on board because I have to land all the ideas and there's not a lot to explain that hard. So can you see a screen which says practical tips? Great. So, uh, Mahesh, first of all, this is me. And if you want to connect, we can get connected over LinkedIn. You can just take a picture, send it an invite, and I will be there. What will we be talking about today? If you stay with me for 30, 45 minutes, it will hopefully can be a short session. Sounds good. It's a very practical session today. And hopefully, end of this session, you will have guidelines of what to expect in your AIPM interviews and also how to prepare for them. Thanks once again. Let's get started. What this slide tells you is that I have given a lot of interviews. If you want to take away one thing, is that this slide, to make slide like this, you have to give more than 300 or so interviews. So let me give you some stats. You don't get to do that. I have given 378 interviews. I'm combining the interviews of not different companies, but one company can take 6 to 7 interviews. And then you have matchmaking. Every matchmaking is 2 interviews. And I cut a number for myself. This number is just last 5 years. I've not counted what I did in college and all, just since I started my journey. So I was at Microsoft. I had an awesome job. I was working there for 10 years. And one day I woke up and I said, I don't want to live in Seattle. I need to move to Bay Area. And that's where I said, you know what? I am going to go. Actually, a recruiter reached out and then I dusted a CV, which my last experience was in 2010. And then I have to add a lot of things. And just 2 years ago, I switched to product management. So I was an engineer or a TL before, and then I moved to PM. I thought it'll be just cool. And it was Google's interview. Yeah, 2019, I think. Yeah, 2020, 2019. Expecting Aryan. So we got that, and I went to the interview, and I just talked about like I talked to you. They asked me questions, and I had no frameworks. I knew nothing. I was just like, "Hey, this is how I solved it. This is how I do it. This is how you do it." And then the feedback that came after that is the guy looks good, but he should prepare more. We will give him another chance. This is just the phone screening, by the way. So Google has a phone screening. So first you do is a phone screening. And they said, he's not prepared. So my recruiter told me that. And I was like, prepare? What does that mean? So I'm like, I'm so cool. I've done so many things. What does preparation mean? And that's where my journey started. And I got hooked to it actually. After that day till today, I've never said no to any interviewer. If you just want to interview me, just send me, have a recruiter reach out, and I will interview. That journey, I have given 378 interviews till today. I'm able to convert 15%. That means I fail more than I succeed. So just if you are failing, don't worry. It is normal. But when I convert one, it doubles my salary. So it's worth it. But that number was made me happy up till some point. But after that, what made me happy is, am I learning through these interviews? Is there something else out there that I don't know? What is there that people need or I should go build or think about was the most exciting part for me going and doing these interviews. And when I did that, for last 2 years, that number was always higher. And this was alarming for me that I did my last 3 interviews and the new insights that I was getting was down 25%. I'm not learning anything new, which should not be true for all of you. And if it is, then you should not go interview. You should start something of your own because you're not learning enough through this process. That process helped me learn a lot of things. And hopefully, I can share some of those with you today. It's really hard to put all that. Hopefully, I will try. But we did 3 weeks of sessions and I try to distill that knowledge and bring this into next 45 minutes. So just cooperate with me. I'm trying to land one specific idea, which is what are you looking for, or how can you prepare, or any tips I have learned in last 300 or so interviews? And if I can distill it into one thing. But before we go further, and I tell you that one thing, I want you to meet this guy. His name is your hiring manager. His is AJ. His name is Ajay, but he goes by the name of AJ because he's cool and he has figured out that for Americans, it's easy to say AJ than Ajay because everybody wants to get a piece of him. He's the AI expert in the team right now, and he has given a charter to change the world or change your organization with AI. And he thinks he's pretty cool and busy, and he has insights. He knows what works, he knows what doesn't work. He thinks he got AI and he's going to take this company, whatever, like Google, Meta, or something, into AI. He's looking for more insights. Are you like him? Or you are somebody who he was 2 years ago? And if you are that person, then you're not going to add much to him because at this point you're serving him. He thinks he will add you in his team and then he will become bigger, better, and can be more cool. If you have insights, then he's checking, are you not going to create some disaster with AI? Because he has seen a lot of disaster in the companies. For example, Google has seen their share of disasters. Microsoft has seen their share of disaster. And these leaders or these hiring managers have grown on those circumstances, have seen what could be the consequences, even with the coolest people, if they are not careful. And last thing, which he's a little okay with, is have you done this work before, which is a chicken and egg problem that we can't solve in this call. But if you have done the work, that gives him a little bit more confidence. So he's looking for three things. And I was trying to look back and see what it took me to get into AI. And it was very interesting when I went back and said what it was that got me into Meta, what it was that got me into AWS, and then from there to Google. So, what we are looking for, or what these people are looking for, are insights. Do you have the latest and greatest insights? For an example, in 2023, when I was interviewing, if I could talk about retrieval augmented generation, how can I bring these AI models and convert them into using my data? And what are the problems with chunking? Then they were excited. In 2024, if I talked about RAG, I was out. They wanted to hear, hey, what are the agents? How you evaluate? One of my questions. How will you evaluate an agent? What you have learned while evaluation of agent and how product manager can set a roadmap. If you had those insights, you were a differentiation. You were differentiated and you can share those insights. So having those insights is the only thing that made the difference for me. When I succeeded, I couldn't share the latest, greatest insight. When I shared the latest, greatest insights, I was hired. If you want to take one thing away, you need to have deep insights. With that, 27% of our previous cohort were able to achieve their goals or get into AI. And I'm going to share next what they did differently. And one thing I have seen is they knew where to play. AI is not just AI. AIPM role is not just one AIPM role. There are three major roles in AI. What is AI doing to us? It's taking away mandatory mundane things. I will call it at the bottom the AI agents. Here, companies, people, and you have seen small teams doing amazing things. They are just picking up a use case and saying, how can AI eliminate this particular thing? There are companies which are saying, okay, you are going to eliminate, you're going to build agents. I'm going to give you tools. Who are these? These are Llama indexes of the world, LangChains of the world. These are the companies like Llama Stack, Mistral also released their own stack. These are the tools which help you build these agents. And using these tools, even you can build agents and be 10x more productive. And on top of this pyramid is the companies which are saying, we are thinking about things that were not even possible before, and we're going to make those possible. These are people who are promising you AGI, They are saying we will have artificial general intelligence. We are building models. We will give you AGI in next couple of years or couple of decades. They don't know it. I don't know it. But at least they are working on it, and they are also looking for people to get some money back to them. Here are some examples. OpenAI building AGI, Crew AI building tools. And what are we looking for? What are AJs looking for in these companies? The number one challenge for AGI builders is they have AGI. They're spending a lot of money, billions of dollars every year. They don't know how to monetize it. And right now, they have no problem of monetization because they have a lot of funding, but they are looking how can they be sustaining these businesses. For an example, OpenAI just hired Fitzy. Anybody know Fitzy Moto? She was CPA for Facebook. So she was the product lead for Facebook app. She was hired by Instacart to figure out how to make Instacart profitable because Instacart was spending too much money, and the model of getting things delivered at your house is not a very profitable business. And she was bringing new avenues of advertisement, or how can we bring Instacart to more users. And I think yesterday or day before, she was announced to be the CEO for OpenAI applications. She will report to Sam Altman. She is leaving Instacart and coming and doing that. Why? Because she has done go-to-market for three companies, and OpenAI has to sell things now. So they are in also sell mode or creating a market mode. And if she's going to hire, she's not looking for people who have done a lot of platform work or researchy work. Those PMs will be application PMs. Similarly, if you go to the tooling or platform providers, right? If you're looking for platform jobs, if you want to play in the middle row, where there are a lot of jobs, by the way, every company is trying to build a platform of their own where they can manage data, create these agents, or empower their sales, marketing, or support to build their own agents. Then you are looking for there your customer changes. You are trying to attract developers or people who are going to build these. Seasoned developers is your persona. Okay. So you are looking at seasoned developers. And if seasoned developers is your persona, then you need to talk about, have you ever did training, inference, or have you done understood the data part and bringing them together? Have you ever served people who have built anything is what they are looking for. And the last is building agents. Here we are looking for, do you understand the domain? Because people who are going to build these vertical agents, which are going to be a lot of these agents and 10,000 of jobs you could expect in this area. Here we are looking for people. Have you worked in security if you're going to build a security agent? Have you worked in real estate if you're going to build a real estate agent? Have you worked or understand that domain and technology? Okay. So that's the landscape. So decide today or tomorrow, but decide as soon as possible, where are you going to play? Okay, you have decided. Let's say you decided agents because I said most jobs are there. Then you have to create a CV that stands out. And CV is nothing but basically a summary of your experiences. Then you need to have a lot of experiences in that area which you chose to have those insights which ages of the world are looking for. I have put some insights here and I have put my CV. So you can look at it. There's a format to it. And the format goes simply like this, which is I have accomplished X by measured by Y by doing Z, which you were doing anyways. But look at the format. Maybe the format is helpful. You have done that. Then AI has one specific problem, which is a lot of money goes in and the money out is not equal to what's the money getting in. ROI, return on investment, becomes the number one challenge for PM roles. If I'm hiring a PM, I want to make sure that they're going to help me make this equation little balanced. So I'm looking for examples that you have done that before. So show me examples where you have done 0 to 10. You have actually came up with something and made consumers which pay for it. Some examples which you will see in my CV that helped me are here. Also, one one CV cut it all doesn't work very well. So have multiple copies. You have to show PhD level expertise or insights to these interviewers or getting into these roles. And one CV is not going to help you have PhD level expertise, even within the same narrow domain. You have to create multiple ones. So have a plan for that. There are resume tips that our team came up. They're here. So you can follow them and see what works for you to create these multiple copies. Okay, you have created a CV that stands out. But to be honest with you, it will take you more than just the formatting, the structure, the keywords. You really need to work on yourself and build these things. And that's where a course like this one can help. Obviously, this is mine, but you can have any other course. If some other course is well rated and if you think instructor is good, just go do it. I will highly recommend doing it because you are in a new field. There's a lot to learn. Do not leave it on chances. We are also planning another course, which we will give for free if you join our course, which is starting this Saturday. There's this course, and tomorrow we are starting a new course. So if you want to join, this is the last moment. We created another batch because, first of all, thank you. We got 40% more enrollment. That's our target. We are met it. But we have Wednesday session. We opened another session. And if you want, I think Karan will be happy to have you. So you want to consume, you want to have a CV, you want to have a job that pays you twice as much as you were getting paid earlier, then you have to work hard, no? And what that looks like? That looks like creating projects. That looks like actually doing the job, actually becoming that person right now. You can just pick up an area and start interviewing customers and say, hey, I'm trying to create an agent. It is a compliance agent. What kind of compliance you have? And every time you do that, take this format. This is the format I created when I was interviewing people for PyTorch, which was not my direct product, but I wanted to get into PyTorch. So I just started interviewing their customers. It's an open source platform or framework which people use to build these models. And I just interviewed researchers and I started publishing this, which is what does your organization understand? What is your team name? What are your key success metrics? What you understand? You put questions. If you just ask these questions and start posting them on LinkedIn, believe me, a lot of people will assume you have an expertise in this field. And if you do 10 of these, you will have those insights. You will understand your customer's world better, and you will have insights into what needs to be built here, irrespective whether you have ever worked in AI or not. And then what you can do is you can summarize that into a weekly business review, which you need to create, by the way. If you join me or if you join OpenAI, you're creating a review like this, which is, hey, we have this agent and what are the usage trends? Who are the key customers who are adapting it? And you can just do it for any agent out there. You can become their PM, OpenAI PM for deep research, can say, these are my customers. This is what happened in them. This is what you should go after. And this is my GTM ideas of getting the adoption for deep research. I'm going to talk to these research firms. I'm talking to McKinsey. I'm talking to GTM. I'm talking to researchers in government institutions. And here's my metrics. I have already started working for you, by the way. And then you have to use these projects to create that CV. And if you did that, you will be there. I guarantee you it works. Worked for me all the time, continues to work for me, which is three-step process. Start doing the work, create insights, use them as hook in your CV by saying, this is what I learned, this is what I accomplished, and this is what the impact of that was. And then when you show up, this is how your world will look like. In an interview, I have seen you, I have seen you every day on LinkedIn talking about what customers you are interviewing and what unique insights you are finding. You're sharing that openly. You're also putting a weekly business review for any agents that you have picked up in your area. And you are saying, this is what happened this week. If I wanted to build this agent, these are the customer updates. These are the GTM updates. This is what I learned. When you show up, there will be three things I will be testing. Every hiring manager are looking for these three things because I built these for these companies because AI was new when I was there and I was lucky enough to be on that panel which decided what questions should get in for interviews. And we said, okay, we need to check mark three things if a candidate has or not. Number one, do you have technical proficiency? Questions like that comes like this. What do you think about an MCP server? Are you all in or skeptical about it? Can LLM actually reason? I've seen a lot of reasoning. I was reading yesterday, Mahesh, about LLM reasoning. What do you think? Yes or no? When I'm asking you these questions, I'm trying to see how much technical depth you have in your understanding of AI. Then a PM will come and ask more questions. What do you think, Mahesh? Open source or closed source? Who is going to win in this race? I have read a lot. What's your take on it? By the way, Mahesh, we are building strategy. You are given a strategy, build a strategy for Google that we can present to Sundar. I'm trying to see how deep is your understanding and can you articulate those things back to me in a way that I can present to leadership. And last, I'm checking your EIPM chops, where I'm trying to understand, can you identify right opportunities and create roadmaps? Can you actually do evaluations so that we can keep our engineering accountable in a way that doesn't choke their throat, but also does not let them release everything saying it works for money and that's why we should just release it, which you will see a lot in AI. It's easy for any AI agent to work for 5 use cases, but to make it 50, it takes 10x more energy, and to make it to next 5,000, it takes 1,000x more energy or power or hours. And can you do that? That's what I'm looking for. Tips to get ready. I will share all of these more in the course, or if you join the course now, we will do this 3 weeks free. I will leave the slides to you, so please feel free to read them. But ensure you have revised all the lesson in the course. So if you have not done the course, I don't know what can we do. Just look at these community calls, and hopefully you can revise what we have shared in the community. Uh, for an example, there is an MCP session we have done on YouTube. You will know we make sure in this community every Saturday I show up and we land all these latest, greatest ideas. So continue following them. Please sign up for AI news and make sure what's happening in your ecosystem. And then last tip here is that make your intro so crisp and brief and have a lot of hooks in that, which brings your insights. Okay, do's and don'ts, please read them. I'm not going to go in detail today. Do not go too deep. What I've seen is people think AI is all technical, and as soon as you learn these technical ideas, you think you have the unique insights. You don't. Everybody knows what MCP is at this point. So do not spend 10 minutes just explaining me what is model context protocol and how you have a discovery, how you have an interface, and how it has to connect, all that. Don't give me engineering details unless I asked for it. Start with the problem. Start like, hey, as you have seen, I'm working in AI agents for a while, and the biggest problem is even within the company, everybody has to write code to get access to the same database. With MCP, that problem is getting solved because I can write that website specific server once and then I can expose it to everybody. And once I do that, then nobody else need to write that code again. So it's a way for me to write once and share, which did not existed in agents before 2025, and now it's there. What this means for us is that we have to identify what MCP server as an organization we need to create and what MCP servers we can access. And if we can do that right, then we can build scalable agents without a large team and also help other teams outside to build a business on our MCP servers. If you like this session, here's a form that allows you to get automatically enrolled in new sessions, which we do try to do every Saturday. That's the session because I took MCP as an example. I promised all of you when I did the MCP session, I will do an A2A session. So this is a session where we will talk about what is next in agent to agent communication and how can you go about that. What we did. Okay, we went back and said what it takes to meet the needs of AJs of the world. We picked up our field. We created a CV. We focused and created some stories. And then we understood the landscape or the artifacts of the type of questions to expect in AIPM interviews. And then we got a lot of tips, which I did not landed all of them today, but I hope I have written them down and you can work backward from them. What can you do? First, pick your area, right? If you are in this community and if you don't know which area you are playing in, and you can be the more specific you can get, the better it is. So you can be, Mahesh, I'm playing in AI tools. In AI tools, I'm playing in vector databases. In vector databases, I'm playing in knowledge graphs. Okay, then I'm like, okay, great. Now you can give me insights. So the more crisp or the more focused you are, the probability of you having deep insights is more. And deep insight is all it takes to make AJs of the world happy. That was my session. Again, I'm Mahesh. I just want to thank you all. One thing that happened, which was completely out of blue last week for us, was that we posted this Slack community invite, and there are 100K impression of it, and it just blown away. I was like, okay, what that happened? Karan just posted it, told me to post it, and we got it out. So thanks a lot for making us so popular. The intention was just to have a community. With that said, again, I'm Mahesh. Feel free to connect.